Chapter 1. Introduction to Sentences. Hi, I am Ariel, and today I am going to talk about something you use every day, but maybe haven't thought much about: sentences. What are sentences? Why do we use them, and how can we use them effectively? Let's dive into it together. A sentence is simply a group of words that expresses a complete thought. Imagine you want to tell someone that it's raining. You wouldn't just say, raining. To make sense, you would say, it is raining. This complete thought is what makes a sentence. Why are sentences important? Sentences are the building blocks of language. They let us share ideas, ask questions, express feelings, and give directions. Without sentences, our words would just be a jumbled mess, and communication would be confusing. Think about this quote by Rudyard Kipling, who once said, "Words are, of course, the most powerful drug used by mankind." Sentences make words powerful by putting them together in ways that can touch someone's heart, make someone laugh, or even help someone learn. Basic structure of a sentence. At its core, every sentence has two main parts. Subject. This is what or who the sentence is about. Predicate. This tells us what the subject is doing or what is happening to it. Let's keep it simple. The cat sleeps. Here, the cat is the subject, and sleeps is the predicate. Together, they form a complete thought. Take another example. You are learning. You is the subject, and are learning is the predicate. This is a sentence because it expresses a complete idea that makes sense on its own. Types of sentences by purpose. There are different types of sentences based on their purpose. We use each type for a different reason, like when we make statements, ask questions, give commands, or show excitement. Declarative sentences. These are simple statements that give information. For example, I like reading. Interrogative sentences. These sentences ask questions. For example, do you like reading? Imperative sentences. These give commands or make requests, like, please pass the book. Exclamatory sentences. These sentences express strong feelings or emotions like, wow, that's amazing. Each sentence type has its own special role in communication. Think about how different it would feel to hear, you are here, versus, are you here, or even, you are here. Let's practice together. Now that you know what makes up a sentence, let's try something fun. Think of a sentence about something you like. It can be a simple statement or even an exclamation. Try writing it down in the comments and I'll read each one. Also, if you'd like to improve your sentence building skills, you can check out some helpful videos on my website, thestoryspeak.online, where I break down sentence structure even more. Remember, a sentence is small but mighty. Whether it's sharing an idea, telling a story, or asking a question, sentences bring language to life. Chapter 2. Types of sentences by purpose. Now that we understand what a sentence is and why it's so important, let's look at the different types of sentences based on the purpose they serve. Every sentence has a job to do, And by knowing the different types, you'll be able to use sentences more effectively and express yourself clearly. There's a great quote by William Wordsworth: "Fill your paper with the breathings of your heart." Sentences help us do that by giving form to our thoughts and feelings. We use different types of sentences to express different ideas, emotions, and even questions. Let's dive into each one. 1. Declarative sentences. Making statements. A declarative sentence is used to make a statement or share information. It's the most common type of sentence and is straightforward, telling us something in a clear, direct way. Think of it as a way to declare or state something. Example: the sun is shining. I enjoy learning English. These sentences give information, and they end with a period. You use them all the time, whether you're telling someone about your day or explaining a fact. Practice idea. In the comments, write a declarative sentence about something you enjoy, like reading, cooking, or even learning English. Let's see what we all love doing. 2. Interrogative sentences. Asking questions. Interrogative sentences are for asking questions. They help us gain information or clarify something we're curious about. Every interrogative sentence ends with a question mark. Examples: what is your favorite book? Do you like learning new things? Questions are powerful because they invite the listener to respond and keep the conversation going. Think about how often you ask questions every day. Asking questions is also an essential part of learning. Practice idea. Ask a question in the comments that you would like me or others to answer. It could be about learning English or something fun, like, what's your favorite hobby? 3. Imperative sentences. Giving commands or making requests. An imperative sentence is used when you want to give a command, offer advice, or make a request. Unlike other sentences, the subject is often implied rather than stated. We don't say, "you pass the salt." We just say, "pass the salt." Examples: please listen carefully. Open the book. Imperative sentences can be gentle requests like, "please help me," or stronger commands like, "stop talking." They're handy when you need to direct someone's actions. Practice idea. Write an imperative sentence in the comments that you would use every day. It could be something simple like, "take a deep breath," or "keep learning." 4. Exclamatory sentences. Expressing strong emotion. Exclamatory sentences express strong emotions like surprise, joy, anger, or excitement. They bring energy into language and end with an exclamation point. However, they should be used sparingly, as too many exclamations can lose their impact. Examples: this is amazing. I can't believe it. Imagine the difference between saying, "this is amazing," and "this is amazing." The exclamation point adds excitement and feeling to your words. Practice idea. Think of something you feel strongly about and share it in the comments as an exclamatory sentence. You could write, "learning English is fun," or "I love storytelling." These 4 sentence types, declarative, interrogative, imperative, and exclamatory, allow us to communicate clearly and express a full range of thoughts and emotions. Each has its own unique purpose, adding richness and depth to our language. For more help in practicing these sentences, check out the videos on my website, thestoryspeak.online, where I go into more detail about how to use each type effectively. Chapter 3. Types of Sentences by Structure. Welcome back. In the last chapter, we explored the different purposes of sentences, statements, questions, commands, and exclamations. Now let's look at how sentences can be structured or built to make our thoughts clearer, more engaging, and sometimes even more complex. There's a saying by George Orwell that goes, "If people cannot write well, they cannot think well." Sentence structure allows us to organize our thoughts better, making our ideas easier to understand and more impactful. Let's go through the main types of sentence structures. 1. Simple sentences. The basics. A simple sentence contains only one independent clause. This means it has one subject and one verb and expresses a complete thought. It's straightforward, clear, and often short. Simple sentences are great for clear, direct communication. Examples: I love reading. She plays guitar. Simple sentences help us get straight to the point, but while they may be brief, they're still powerful. Think about the impact of a statement like, "I believe in you." It's short, but meaningful. Practice idea. Write a simple sentence about something you enjoy, like, "I enjoy learning English," and share it in the comments. 2. Compound sentences. Connecting ideas. A compound sentence combines two or more independent clauses with a coordinating conjunction like and, but, or. Each part of the sentence could stand alone as a simple sentence, but together they add depth and connect related ideas. Examples: I love reading, and I also enjoy writing. She plays guitar, but he plays the piano. Compound sentences allow us to show relationships between ideas. They're helpful when we want to compare or contrast, like when we say, "Learning English is challenging, but it's also rewarding." Practice idea. Try creating a compound sentence about your daily routine or favorite activities and share it in the comments. 3. Complex sentences. Adding depth. A complex sentence contains an independent clause and at least one dependent clause. The dependent clause adds extra information but doesn't stand alone as a complete sentence. These sentences add depth by showing relationships like cause and effect or conditions. Examples: I study English because it is important for my career. When I finish my work, I like to relax with a book. The beauty of complex sentences is that they allow us to share more details. They let us explain our motivations or describe situations in a single, connected thought. Practice idea. Think of a reason why you enjoy something, like learning or reading, and try forming a complex sentence about it. Post it in the comments if you'd like. 4. Compound complex sentences. The ultimate combination. A compound complex sentence has at least two independent clauses and one or more dependent clauses. It combines the depth of complex sentences with the connecting power of compound sentences. Example: I enjoy learning English because it challenges me, and I want to improve my communication skills. This sentence structure lets us share detailed, connected ideas in one flowing sentence. It's helpful when we have a lot to say, but we want everything to connect in a meaningful way. Practice idea. Challenge yourself by creating a compound, complex sentence. Think about two things you enjoy and why you enjoy them. Then combine these ideas into one sentence and share it in the comments. Why sentence structure matters. Understanding sentence structure can open up endless possibilities in your communication. You'll be able to vary your sentences to keep your listener interested and make your ideas clearer. Think about how different these examples sound. I love reading versus I love reading because it opens my mind and I want to become more knowledgeable. The structure can change the impact. If you'd like more practice with sentence structures, check out the videos on thestoryspeak.online. There, you'll find simple examples and exercises to help you master these sentence types. Chapter 4. Introduction to Conditional Sentences. Welcome back. Now that we've explored sentence structures, it's time to dive into something exciting. Conditional sentences. These sentences let us express possibilities, make predictions, and imagine what-if situations. Conditional sentences are incredibly useful in everyday language, and mastering them can help you think creatively and communicate more effectively. There's a famous quote by Albert Einstein that goes, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." Conditional sentences allow us to imagine outcomes, make plans, and explore what-if scenarios, which is why they're essential in both conversation and writing. What is a conditional sentence? A conditional sentence describes a situation that might happen in the future or could have happened in the past. It usually has two parts, the if clause and the main clause. The if clause introduces a condition, and the main clause explains what happens if that condition is met. For example, if it rains, I will stay inside. Here, if it rains is the condition, and I will stay inside is the result if that condition happens. Zero conditional. Facts and certainties. The zero conditional is used to talk about general truths, scientific facts, or things that are always true. We use the present simple tense for both the if clause and the main clause. Examples. If you heat water to 100 degrees Celsius, it boils. If I study hard, I understand better. Zero conditionals are like rules. They describe things that will always happen when a certain condition is met. Practice idea. Write a zero conditional sentence about something you know is always true, like, if I exercise, I feel good. Share it in the comments. First conditional. Real possibilities. The first conditional is used for real situations that could happen in the future. We use the present simple tense in the if clause and the future simple tense, will plus verb, in the main clause. Examples. If it rains tomorrow, I will take an umbrella. If I pass the test, I will celebrate. The first conditional is useful when you want to express what you'll do if a certain event occurs. It's all about planning for real possibilities. Practice idea. Think about a goal or plan and try forming a first conditional sentence. For example, if I finish my project, I will watch a movie. Post it in the comments. Conditional sentences make our language more flexible, allowing us to predict, plan, and imagine. This chapter covered the zero and first conditionals, which are the simplest types. Chapter 5. Advanced Conditionals. Second and third conditional sentences. Welcome back. In the last chapter, we explored the zero and first conditionals, which help us talk about real situations and possibilities. Now, let's dive into the second and third conditionals. These conditionals allow us to imagine situations that are either unlikely or impossible in the present or past. They help us explore what could have been and what might be, making them perfect for expressing wishes, regrets, and dreams. As Mark Twain once said, "You can't depend on your eyes when your imagination is out of focus." Conditional sentences like these allow us to use our imagination, adding depth to our conversations and writing. Second conditional, imagining unlikely or hypothetical situations. The second conditional is used to talk about unreal or unlikely situations in the present or future. Think of it as a way to express your dreams, hopes, or even what-if ideas that aren't likely to happen right now. The structure uses if plus past simple in the if clause and would plus base verb in the main clause. Examples: if I won the lottery, I would travel the world. If I were taller, I would play basketball. Notice how these sentences express ideas that aren't likely or possible right now. We don't expect to win the lottery today, and we can't just become taller, but we can still imagine these scenarios. Practice idea. Try writing a second conditional sentence about something you'd love to do, even if it's unlikely. For example, if I could meet any famous person, I would meet Shakespeare. Share your sentence in the comments. Third conditional, reflecting on the past. The third conditional is used to talk about imaginary situations in the past. It expresses regret or reflects on what could have happened differently if things had been different. In this structure, we use if plus past perfect in the if clause and would have plus past participle in the main clause. Examples: if I had studied harder, I would have passed the exam. If we had left earlier, we would have caught the bus. These sentences reflect on past events that cannot be changed. They help us express what we wish had happened, even though it didn't. Practice idea. Think of a situation in the past you wish had gone differently, and form a third conditional sentence about it. For example, if I had known about the event, I would have attended. Feel free to share it in the comments. Why use second and third conditionals? Second and third conditionals add emotional depth to our language. They let us dream about the future and reflect on the past, even if those dreams and reflections are imaginary. Just imagine saying, "If I could fly, I would travel anywhere," or, "If I had taken that opportunity, my life would be different." These sentences allow us to explore possibilities, making our language richer and more creative. For more practice with these advanced conditional structures, visit thestoryspeak.online, where I've shared exercises and videos to help you master them. Chapter 6: Mixed Conditionals and Their Use. Welcome back. We've covered the basics of conditional sentences with real possibilities. In the first conditional, hypothetical dreams in the second conditional, and regrets in the third conditional. Now, let's dive into the mixed conditionals, which give us even more flexibility in expressing thoughts. Mixed conditionals allow us to connect the past with the present, creating powerful statements that help us imagine how past events affect our current lives. A wise saying by author J.K. Rowling goes, "It is our choices that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities." Mixed conditionals let us explore those choices and imagine how different actions might have shaped who we are today. What are mixed conditionals? Mixed conditionals combine elements of the second and third conditionals. This means we can take a past condition and connect it to a present result, or, conversely, take a present condition and connect it to a past result. They're helpful for describing how past events impact our current lives, or how present situations could have changed past outcomes. 1. Mixed conditional. Past condition. Present result. This type of mixed conditional is used when we want to imagine how a change in the past would affect the present. The structure is if plus past perfect for the past condition in the if clause, and would plus base verb for the present result in the main clause. Examples: if I had studied medicine, I would be a doctor now. If she had moved to New York, she would live there today. In these examples, we're thinking about a decision made in the past and imagining how it would affect life today. These sentences show how past choices shape our present situations. Practice idea. Think of a past choice that might have changed your present situation. For example, if I had learned to play the piano, I would play music now. Share your sentence in the comments. 2. Mixed conditional. Present condition plus past result. This form is less common but very interesting. It's used when we want to imagine how a different present situation could have changed the past. The structure is if plus past simple for the present condition in the if clause and would have plus past participle for the past result in the main clause. Examples: if I were more confident, I would have taken that opportunity. If he spoke French, he would have traveled to France last year. Here, we're imagining how a different current situation might have changed something in the past. It's a unique way to reflect on how our present traits or situations impact past decisions. Practice idea. Think of a trait or situation that, if different, might have changed a past action. For example, if I were braver, I would have tried out for the school play. Share it in the comments. Why use mixed conditionals? Mixed conditionals let us explore the what-ifs in life, blending time and imagination to reveal how interconnected our choices, traits, and situations can be. They add depth to our conversations and allow us to reflect on the influence of our decisions across time. Imagine saying, if I had chosen a different career path, I would live in a different country now. These sentences help us explore how our past is tied to our present. If you're interested in practicing mixed conditionals further, head over to thestoryspeak.online for videos and exercises on these unique structures. Chapter 7. Sentence Fragments and Run-on Sentences. Welcome back. In this chapter, we're going to focus on something that often trips up beginner and even experienced writers: sentence fragments and run-on sentences. These common mistakes can make our writing unclear or confusing, but once you understand how to spot and fix them, your sentences will become much clearer and stronger. There's a quote by writer William Zinsser that goes, "Writing improves in direct ratio to the number of things we can keep out of it that shouldn't be there." By avoiding sentence fragments and run-ons, we remove confusion and make sure each sentence delivers a complete and clear thought. What is a sentence fragment? A sentence fragment is a group of words that looks like a sentence but isn't a complete sentence. It's missing either a subject, a verb, or a complete thought. A complete sentence must have all three, or it can leave the reader hanging. Examples of sentence fragments: running down the street, after the movie ended. Both of these fragments are missing a complete idea. Running down the street doesn't tell us who was running or what happened. After the movie ended feels unfinished, as it doesn't explain what happened next. How to fix sentence fragments. To turn a fragment into a complete sentence, add the missing part so it expresses a complete thought. Fixed examples: she was running down the street. After the movie ended, we went to get ice cream. Now, each sentence has a subject, a verb, and a complete thought. Practice idea. Think of a short sentence, and then create a sentence fragment by removing the subject or verb. Post your fragment and your fixed sentence in the comments. What is a run-on sentence? A run-on sentence occurs when two or more independent clauses are joined without proper punctuation or conjunctions. This can make the sentence confusing because it's hard to tell where one idea ends and another begins. Example of a run-on sentence: I went to the store, I bought some apples. Here, two complete ideas are stuck together without a proper link, making the sentence confusing. How to fix run-on sentences. There are a few ways to correct run-ons. Add a period to split the ideas into separate sentences. I went to the store, I bought some apples. Add a conjunction, like and or but, to join the ideas. I went to the store and I bought some apples. Use a semicolon if the ideas are closely related. I went to the store, I bought some apples. Practice idea. Write a run-on sentence and then try fixing it using one of the three methods. Post both versions in the comments. Why avoid fragments and run-ons? Fragments and run-ons disrupt the flow of your sentences and make it harder for others to understand what you're saying. When we take the time to ensure each sentence is clear, our writing becomes more professional and easier to follow. Think of it as giving each idea the space and structure it needs to be understood. If you'd like more practice spotting and fixing these mistakes, check out thestoryspeak.online, where I've uploaded helpful videos and exercises on this topic. Improving these small details will make a big difference in your writing. Chapter 8. Mastering Sentences in Everyday Language. Welcome to our final chapter. We've explored the different types of sentences by purpose, structure, and conditionals, and learned to avoid fragments and run-ons. Now, it's time to put it all together. In this chapter, we'll talk about how to combine all these sentence types to create natural, varied, and engaging language in your everyday conversations and writing. As the author Anne Lamott said, "Almost all good writing begins with terrible first efforts. You need to start somewhere." Knowing how to vary your sentences helps you start strong and gives your language the natural rhythm and flow of fluent conversation. Why vary your sentences? When we use a mix of sentences, we keep our listeners interested, create better emphasis, and express ourselves more clearly. Imagine reading a passage that only uses simple sentences. It might be clear, but it can feel repetitive or even dull. By adding different sentence structures and types, you bring life to your language. Example of sentence variety. I love learning English. It opens up new opportunities for me. When I study each day, I feel a sense of achievement. If I continue practicing, I'll reach fluency. In this example, a declarative sentence, a complex sentence, and a first conditional are combined to keep the language flowing naturally. Tips for mixing sentence types. 1. Combine simple and complex. Sentences use simple sentences for clear ideas and complex sentences to add depth and detail. Example. Simple. I enjoy reading. Complex. I enjoy reading because it helps me learn new things. By alternating simple and complex sentences, you can make your thoughts clear and provide interesting details. 2. Add questions to engage. Others, asking questions, or using interrogative sentences, can make your language more interactive, even in writing. It keeps the listener or reader involved. Example. Do you have a favorite book? Or, what do you love about learning? Questions encourage engagement and make your language feel like a conversation, inviting others to share their thoughts. 3. Use exclamations to show emotion. Exclamatory sentences can express excitement, surprise, or strong emotions. They're best used sparingly to avoid overwhelming the listener, but they add great emphasis when used thoughtfully. Example. Learning a new language is amazing. Or, I can't believe how much I've improved. Feel free to add exclamations when you're sharing something you feel strongly about. 4. Practice conditional sentences to imagine scenarios. Conditionals allow you to express possibilities and hopes. Whether using the 0, first, second, third, or mixed conditional, these sentences can make your language more imaginative and thoughtful. Example. If I study a little every day, I'll improve quickly. If I had known this sooner, I would have started learning earlier. Conditionals are perfect for expressing plans, dreams, or reflections on past events. Let's see how different sentence types can work together in a single paragraph. Learning English has been a wonderful journey. Every day, I discover new things. If I keep practicing, I know I'll become fluent. Do you have any tips for improving quickly? I enjoy listening to English podcasts because they help me improve. Learning a language takes time, but it's worth every minute. Notice how each sentence type adds a different layer. The mix of statements, exclamations, and a question keeps the passage lively and interesting. Practice idea. Write a short paragraph about something you enjoy or something you're working toward. Try to use at least one of each sentence type: a statement, a question, a command, and a conditional. Share your paragraph in the comments, and let's see your creativity in action. Mastery takes practice. Mastering sentences in everyday language is a journey, but each step helps you communicate more effectively. Mixing different types and structures allows you to be clear, engaging, and even persuasive. If you'd like more practice with these techniques, check out thestoryspeak.online, where you'll find videos, exercises, and additional resources. Thank you for joining me on this podcast series about sentences. I hope you found each chapter helpful and that you feel more confident in using varied sentence types. Remember to keep practicing and experimenting with your language skills. Please share your thoughts and let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to hear from you.